And good Friday morning. Once again, we meet, and the subject this morning has been so far weather, hasn't it? We've seen our fair share of heavy rains blow through the area. The severe thunderstorms warning that were in Mississippi have all expired and moved on into Alabama, around Sweetwater, Alabama. We'll look at radar here in just a moment to show you just where we are with the weather, and it's moving out. Lauderdale County kind of light at the moment. But let me remind you, as you get ready to leave home, streets are extremely wet this morning, which means when you go to stop at that stop sign, especially the way times are with hard times, a lot of us run our tires a little bit longer than we maybe should. Makes it a little bit slick. They slide more. See Matthew there at Eastgate. If it's got to the point you need your new set of tires, he'll make you a great deal there in Meridian and have you back on your way. But they do slide when it's wet. Causes accidents. We all know that. So plan a little bit before you head out today. Go a little bit slower. It's worth your life. Trust me on that. Well, I'll need you watching tomorrow and the day after that, so can't have you running off anywhere. Let's go to radar. Let's start out with what we've got, and then we'll come back in a little bit and do the complete forecast details of what we've got. As we pull up radar this morning, this is what's showing. Now, as we saw all of these storms that blew through here earlier this morning that were heavy, it's been a lot of flooding. It's been a lot of that going down. We have a flood warning down here around the Hattiesburg area. But as we zoom into Lauderdale County, all looks good now. We've got a few showers there, 493, 495. That's moderate showers. South of Meridian, you get into here, Highway 45. All right, east of the airport, a little bit of showers, nothing bad. As we go into Clark County, we still have heavier rain in southern, south of Quitman there, DeSoto area, Shibuya, still rains, and all of this moving off to the east. Now, again, there's no warnings here at this point. The only thing that we've got down here is Jones County that still has a flash flood warning. It's still pouring rain there, but not anything like what Jones County and these areas saw earlier. Wayne, you'll have a little bit more. And all of this moves off to the northeast. Let's put this in motion where you kind of see where things are this morning. And then we'll step over that Bama state line and show you where they are. As all of this has shifted, and this will move right on into Alabama here in the next few moments. So on the Bama side, y'all pay a little bit of attention. Now let's move in. Heavy showers here in Tuscaloosa this morning. All this area here around Northport. Pouring rain. The bigger storms that we're watching here, Utah, Alabama, just to the northeast of Utah. Y'all had a pretty severe storm blow through there, headed toward Moundville. This is going to cross Highway 82 in the next little bit, just east of Tuscaloosa. As we come down, this is going to be Demopolis. Y'all have a storm approaching here in the next little bit that will reach Demopolis in the next 10 minutes. About 6:42, this storm that's right here will make its way there. Now, as we look at this, all of this stuff that moved through Livingston earlier has calmed down, thank goodness. Highway 17 got a lot of rain earlier also. We still have showers at York. As you come across, though, the big one is going to be coming up on Demopolis there. Right here, we still have a severe thunderstorm warning. It's going to be over to the side here, and that's going to remain until 7 o'clock as we look at this, and this is for Marengo County. Southwestern there. The rest of these areas have finally played out, but we still have some wind in the areas here that are making their way toward Highway 43 in those areas. This is Highway 84. Silas, Alabama, Gilberttown. Still heavy rain there at the four-way stop there in Gilberttown. But the worst of the rain has moved over Uintoxie and in between there in Butler and is over here to the east of this, just a line due east of there. Some shear wind still mixed in there at about 58 miles an hour. And as I pointed out earlier this morning, that doesn't mean it's on the ground. It just means that it's in the air, and you never know. We get wind damage from time to time. Here's a storm that we want to look at here. Here's Sweetwater, Alabama. This is going to make its way towards Sweetwater. Anybody near Pennington, Sweetwater, those areas of Alabama this morning, make sure that you got a little heads up and you pay attention to weather. As this comes across here, it's going to make its way to Sweetwater within 10 minutes. Linden, Alabama, you'll have the storm within about 20 minutes. Providence, and then on to Thomaston, Alabama there in about 23 minutes. So heavy rain headed in those directions. But again, Mississippi side has cleaned up. As we will get into the forecast here in just a moment, again, we want to remind you that coming next week, we're looking at probably Tuesday evening, could be Wednesday morning. The National Weather Service hasn't fine-tuned the time yet, but we have another round of storms that are going to make its way into our area. Could be a little bit bigger, as I pointed out last night. A little bit bigger, is that the word for it? we're going to have those storms moving in next week. Potential for more severe weather is what, at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say. And I'll watch that for you as it gets closer, and we will tell you more about that. We've got all of that. Hang close. We're going to be right back. We got some more headlines coming on. I'll tell you what went on in the Meridian area and across the state. That's next. Don't rush off. The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville has these great savings this week. Idaho potatoes, a 5-pound bag, $2.99. California oranges, a 4-pound bag, $5.99. Heinz tomato ketchup, a 20-ounce bottle, 2 for $4. Dixie Crystal Sugar, a 4-pound bag, $2.89. Twin Pack Boston Butt, $1.69 a pound. And select New York strips, $8.99 a pound.
And we're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
I'm Michael Swansea. I'm an Alpha insurance agent. 9 out of 10 people don't understand what insurance actually is. I want to fix that. I want to take the opportunity to sit down with you and your family and really go over your insurance and make sure that y'all are protected. I don't want y'all going to bed at night wondering during the next emergency, during the next claim, am I going to be covered? Give me a chance to sit down with you and your family and fix that and make a difference.
As we start today, a wet 62 degrees. We're going to make it all the way to 80 before it's done. It'll be a warm day for us there, but 62 right now as you begin it. Our first story that we wanted to talk about this morning is Winston County. As we go to the Winston County Sheriff's Office to look at what they're reporting this morning, we have someone missing. Lyndon, better known as Jack Ball, was last seen on Saturday, March the 12th, in his home there in Winston County. He's presumed to be driving a red maroon 04 Chevy 4-door Silverado. License plate WN13705. If you've seen him, know where he might be, please let the police department know there in Winston County. Pretty serious there. We don't like anybody to be missing. So if you've seen Jack anywhere, let them know. Mr. Ball and his family would like to know where he is. That's one of the things that are making the rounds this morning, and we certainly hope he is found safe soon, without a doubt. Good morning, Rachel Whitaker. How are you today? Wanda Grantham is up. Not a day to have your clothes out on the line, as I mentioned earlier this morning. A wet one out there. As we'll tell you more about the Meridian Fire Department a little bit later. We're going to do a full story with them, but they did a great deed yesterday. We'll show you some video beginning at 8 o'clock this morning, but we had a youngster that went to Walmart, and, well, he got hung. Meridian Fire Department jumped in to save him, and he got a tour of the fire truck. We'll show you some video coming up at 8 o'clock. I hope you'll come back. Of just how far and above the Meridian Fire Department goes to make sure that youngsters are safe and, well, make them feel good about things. So a great job for all the guys that did that. Special thanks to Captain Will Newman, Senior Firefighter Gentry, and Firefighter Kellogg. Great job on y'all's part. And again, Mom says thank you, and we'll look at that here a little bit and show you some video of what went on with that. Now, yesterday, the big breaking news in Meridian, Mississippi, if you haven't heard by now, was that the triple homicide, and the best way to, this was back in October, happened behind Anderson's Hospital north of there. That's the best direction I know how to give it to you on a big map if you were looking at. 2 arrests were made. As we go back here to take a look at these pictures this morning, Tavon Radcliffe has been arrested as a suspect in these murders. Also, we will go down, and Jaquan Radcliffe has been arrested by the Meridian Police Department. I went to a press conference yesterday afternoon as they began to talk about this and how this came about. And let's go here and pull the chief of police up from Meridian and let you hear what happened at the press conference yesterday afternoon. Let's pull this back up where you can see here.
Good evening. I'd like to report that on today, Meridian Police Department Criminal Investigation Division made 2 arrests in the triple homicide that claimed the lives of Cody Davison, Jacoby Jones, and Hunter Card, as well as injured a 1-year-old in the incident that occurred in the 2000 block of 17th Street on October 12th of 2021. The 2 that were arrested in this homicide is Jaquan Radcliffe, Tavion Radcliffe. They were both charged with capital murder and aggravated assault. At this time, there is no bond set.
Now, as I spoke with the investigators, there's possibly going to be some more arrests involved in this. But that's where it stands this morning. An arrest has been made, 2 of them there. Possibly more pending on this. And I did ask them the question, did we think that this was possibly a hit? As in somebody over them says, go take care of this. And the response was not at this point. They don't believe that. But another arrest coming forth, they do believe. So good news that somebody among the crowd in the Meridian area has been taken off the street. They'll go to court, have their chance to prove their innocence. But suspects arrested in the triple homicide. That's one of the few times Meridian has ever seen a triple homicide. That was tragedy. Do y'all remember that when that news broke out that day? Boy, oh boy. As we go back to Clark County, what is going on in Clark County? Y'all been having some wrecks. As we go down to take a look at this, we go to Clark County Hot Topics here. This is the scene yesterday afternoon. And let me back this up just a little bit here. As we look at this, the scene is, boy, a log truck and a car involved in this. Bang. That was one of the wrecks that happened there. Right up from the hospital, somebody had to be taken there for evaluation. I think most everything turned out okay, but that could have been worse there. As we go down, there's another wreck that happened yesterday also in Clark County. Let me pull this up and show you. As I said, y'all have been busy in Clark County with fender benders. Look at this. This is a little bit more serious. This person is okay. A big thank you to Clark County Hot Topics for being there and getting us video footage of this incident that happened. They were transported to the hospital. But fortunately, they walked away from that. Look how serious that is. Right underneath the truck. That could have been something totally different. Log truck was pulling out and they went under it. Blessings is what that is. I think we all know that when a situation like that happens and you walk away. So we hope that whoever that was will take that little heed they got, that little voice that says, spread some good word from this. We hope so. That's one of the few things there. Now, we also, I-20 yesterday afternoon, this has been like a streak of this over the last couple of weeks to where we've had 18-wheelers either coming or going out of the Meridian area that wrecked. Yesterday was no change as we found a truck coming into the Meridian area at the split, making its way to Meridian, and all of a sudden it runs off the road, jumps the medium, crosses both sides of the 4-lane and off into the woods. Somehow or another, with God's blessing, no one was hit. Can you believe that? Let's go there and take a look at the pictures from this. As cleanup and everything began yesterday, we go to our website at Southern American Media. That's sammedia.network if you want to take a look at all of this. But this is the pictures from yesterday. This is it down in the bushes. Look at that. Crossed all of that, and believe it or not, missed everyone up toward the railroad tracks. Meridian Police Department all over this as they survey the damage. And as we get closer, this is the truck as it was pulled out right at dark. Took a while to get all that out of there. Windshield busted. I think he was taken to the hospital for an evaluation. Not sure what happened. This could have been a medical emergency. We never know until days later of all this involved. But that's the scene there. If you come along this morning, you see all that dirt and go, well, what happened? That's what went on yesterday afternoon there with all of the commotion on I-20. Again, that was just past the airport exit before you get to the split is where that went on. A busy day there. MPD was all over that. And as Sandy said, a lot of times here recently they've been giving jobs to drivers that don't have the experience that others did. In a hurry to get freight moved, they've taken some folks that don't have the experience. And I see what you're saying there. We are seeing that a lot. Experiences a lot. We also had another incident. It was a foot chase yesterday afternoon on the streets of Meridian. It involved a motorcycle and a car. An accident happened, and as we go back to our website there at sammedia.network, we see this. A wreck on 8th Street. It was a car and a motorcycle. A deputy came about, and, well, they decided they didn't want to hang around and commenced to running, as they say in the Deep South. The deputy hung in there as long as he could till he lost sight, and he kind of blended in. Y'all expect an arrest to come. You can't outrun when you leave something behind. He just got away for a few moments there. But that was in the streets of Meridian, right off 8th Street yesterday afternoon, 29th Avenue at that red light. Things like that happen all the time. We see that. The Mississippi State Auditor's Office, Shad White. Y'all know who I'm talking about? I'm sure you do. He's been one of the busiest that we've ever had in that office. And, well, he's made another arrest. Let's take a look at what Shad White has been up to as we go over and take a look here. As we pull this up, we go now. Jackson, Mississippi announced that Tiffany Lofton, a former Rankin County deputy tax collector, has pleaded guilty to embezzlement. As we look at this, they'll be sending a demand letter for somewhere around $6,000 for her of what she has taken from the state of Mississippi. They don't play around at the state of Mississippi, not with Shad White's office. They stay busy on this. And, well, they got a promotion there. I was wondering what she was doing. I thought I'd missed someone. I was making sure there. I had to be fair about everybody that his office arrest, but that's someone who got a promotion there. As we go to Vicksburg, Mississippi, as we look around of everything that goes on in the state, we go to Vicksburg. There was a wreck. This happened on Thursday afternoon. It claimed a life on Highway 27. We pass along condolences anytime like this happened, but a head-on collision there, and someone lost their life on Highway 27. It was the passenger in the car. Hate to talk about those things, but they do happen. Hattiesburg Police, as we go to headlines with them this morning, we go down and take a look. They've had some shoplifting going on in the Hattiesburg area. If you recognize these two ladies, they'd like to talk to them. Happened there at Walmart. Again, proven innocent until proven guilty, but they want to talk to them about an incident that happened there at Walmart. You can find out more about that at Hattiesburg Police Department. They're sharing and telling all there. Scuba. Well, it makes headlines, but this happened north of there in Oktibbeha County. A scuba man is in jail this morning and for domestic violence. They were called to a scene, and a man got in his car, and, well, he didn't hang around. He ran from police, and they have made an arrest of 24-year-old, and I want to say, if I'm pronouncing this, Malik Fuller from Scuba has been arrested. They've been busy there, and this is the gentleman here from the Scuba area that they arrested for. Well, the cops ask you to pull over, do that, don't run. Doesn't end up good for you ever when something like that happens there. Whew, Mississippi State. How many Mississippi State fans do we have watching this morning? They have went and fired the basketball coach. He's out, been howling. We'll see what happens next. I don't keep up with the basketball as much as others do at Mississippi State. I know the girls always have a big team, always winning something. But apparently they weren't happy with his performance, so to speak. We'll find out who they replace him with. That's some of the news there at Mississippi State this morning. A Mississippi man has been arrested. He lived somewhere else, but from 30 years ago. We go to Raleigh, North Carolina, where an arrest has been made for someone of a murder that happened here in 1992. A lady was dumped on the side of the road, and guess what? It was on the morning of July 7th when that happened. The body of Nona Cobb was found alongside the road there. And as they get to processing with this new thing they call DNA, they're able to go back to a crime scene and process it and find out who was there. They've identified Warren Luther Alexander. He's 71 now. He's a possible suspect, highly, so high that they've arrested him over it. He'll stand trial on that. He was arrested in Diamond Head, Mississippi is where he was. So we'll watch this case and tell you about it. 1992. I don't guess you ever really get away with anything. Not with the way technology is going. They can trace it back. As we watch all these stories, boy, this is getting scary. And I think most Americans look at this each night and go, what is next? As we watch the conflict in Ukraine. And each day we all watch and think there is the threat of possibility of, well, what's that threat of nuclear weapons? It bothers us. Putin is saying that he's got the weapons that could destroy the West. He keeps repeatedly throwing little remarks to the West. Let's hope all of this fades away. Also in other news, this morning as you're waking up, the New York Times, a year later, it took a year for them to finally admit, do y'all remember that guy that lost his business, went bankrupt because the news media didn't like him because, well, he told the truth? You know, a computer shop guy gets a computer in, he makes a phone call and says, hey, FBI, come over and take a look at this. Well, they finally admit, the New York Times, that it was Hunter Biden's computer this morning. It is some bad stuff on that computer. Had Americans really known what was on there, we probably wouldn't have had the election turned out the way it did. Truthfully. Some bad stuff, some tie-ins on there. Do we think that other people have got that information and used it to their advantage? Probably so. That's some of the headlines that are happening this morning. We've got more coming up. We're going to look into your forecast next, so don't rush off. We'll tell you all about the weather. That's a few of the headlines that's happening across the nation this morning. Stay close. We're going to be back with more here in just a moment.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
Patrick Allen Companies services and repairs all brands of overhead doors, residential and commercial. Our service technicians are factory trained and have over 125 years of combined experiences. At Patrick Allen Companies, we are not interested in being the biggest, just the best. At Patrick Allen Companies, our philosophy is simple. We want to give you more than you expect. We are just 4 miles south of Meridian on Highway 145. Patrick Allen Companies, safety, service, and satisfaction.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Our record highs and record low today, well, the high was set back in 82 with a high of 88. We'll get close to that today with a high temperature of right about 80. Our record low, 1892 was set 24 degrees and 1892. It's been a while, hasn't it? As we look at our forecast for today, as we see here, Birmingham looks like they're going to have some rain there across the state line, 73. We're going to do that here in Meridian, but topping right at 79, 80 degrees. Demopolis, you'll get 78 as we look at that. As we come across, that was yesterday, as we look at the flash flooding effect today. This is where all of this came about. You probably got that about 3 inches, between 1 to 3 inches, especially right in here. Y'all saw that. This is all over, moved out of the county now. But at the time, at 5 o'clock this morning, that was early there. This has moved out. The thread has moved on. That was that. The Alabama side, y'all watch this as it makes its way across 8 to 7 p.m. right through here in the heart from Birmingham south through Selma and Montgomery. And then the eastern side of the state will be later on today. They'll have more chances there. Temperatures, here's what we're looking at right here as we look across to this. Warmer weather today, and we've got a little bit of a cooling down trend. And as you'll notice, right back there, we've got more heat coming our way as we look at this. So let's go ahead and look at our temperatures for the next 7 days of what we've got showing up and what we should expect. Our high temperature today, as we said, is going to be somewhere right around 78 as we look at that. All right, let me get back over here and get that straightened out. That didn't want to move. 79, 45 for our low tonight. 70% chance of showers. And mainly all that is gone. We got a chance of some light showers this afternoon around 2 o'clock. High of 80 today. Gusty, though. We still got that about 30 miles an hour. Tonight, that low gets to 45, but still more gust. 45 still hanging on that also. As we go to mostly sunny Saturday, look at this, 66 for tomorrow. Perfect weather. You can't beat that for tomorrow. 72 for Sunday. No chances of rain either Saturday or Sunday. Great weather there. As we move into Monday, a high of 75, and that next chance of threat of weather moves in on Tuesday. Now, we're already at a level 2 for Tuesday, is what the National Weather Service is telling us this morning of what to expect on Tuesday. We'll tell you more about that and watch that very closely. Wednesday, down to a 40% chance of rain, 75, and then 68 there. Let's go ahead another weekend to this, to April the 1st. We've got temperatures hovering anywhere from 70 right up to about 75 degrees. We'll get a couple of days there that's more, but nighttime lows will hover 45 to 50 degrees. Not bad at all. A good, cool, crisp feeling, not too hot overnight. Highs of, if we could keep it like that year-round, it would be perfect, wouldn't it? It would be. Let's talk about fishing for the day. What's it look like for us today as we go to Chet's Paint and Body to take a look at fishing times. Here it is on this Friday. Our first major time was in the early part of the morning. We'll get a minor time this afternoon between 1:30 and 3:30 will be your next time to go fishing. So if you've got to be out there, hit it this afternoon there as the rain moves out. Fish may be biting. Again, that wind, watch that southwest 10 to 20 and the gust as high as 30 miles an hour today as we look at those. Those are a quick look at the forecast and what is coming over the next few days. We want you to be well aware of all of that that is happening in our area. So that's a quick look. I want to remind you, as we brought this up earlier, let me pull this back up. We got a Grammy Award winner coming in this morning. Have you seen this? Check this out. Mike Compton will be here in just a little bit. Played on the Soggy Bottom Boys, played with Patty Loveless, Dolly, Willie, just about Steen. Great mandolin player. He's got a Grammy on the shelf. I don't know too many people personally to have those. So a pretty big deal. From Meridian, Mississippi, he was. Makes his way back through the area. So we welcome him. We're talking with him this morning beginning at 8 with Candace and I, and we'll learn more about what he does. Also teaches a class there in Nashville. Maybe you want to know. A big fan of Bill Monroe. And depending on who you talk to, how you pronounce that, I've heard folks say Bill Monroe. But Brother Bill, we've got all that on the way this morning. That kicks off at 8 o'clock. I can't say thank you enough for y'all joining me every day. Means a lot. Appreciate you supporting our sponsors. Why not Motorsports Park? One of the ones there as it comes up on the screen. We appreciate that. We'll be back very soon as we'll kick into the morning show beginning at 8. Again, 62 right now with light showers. Let's go back to radar before we close so you can see exactly what the weather looks like. The most in Mississippi that we have now, we go down to Wayne County. Got a little bit of rain still moving across there in Clark. Some showers in Kemper, but again, the heavy stuff here making its final stage as it makes its way on over to Alabama. These are flood warnings down here in Wayne County as these red boxes as we look at. Heavier showers here. We have some severe thunderstorm warnings over here in Alabama. Right there. This is going to be lasting until 7 o'clock this morning. Remains in effect there for Marengo County. If you're in that area, you've got rain all around you as you see that there in Alabama. Sweetwater, Thomaston, Alabama. We've been through there. We know where you are. Lisbon, Linden. Wet in those areas. Good morning to Reggie McKee. Glad to see you there. Arlene Chew, Jimmy Slade, good morning. Again, we'll be back here in just about an hour from now as we'll kick into the morning show to let you know what's going on in and around the area and across the nation. We'll see you soon here at the Scotty Ray Report. Thanks a bunch. We'll be back.
Scotty Ray's weather is brought to you by our following partners: